Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be looking at 50 Agere journal prompts, all pulled from this blog post by Clara Penrose on the Stallion dated June 11th, 2024. And what really got me excited about this was how these prompts are all categorized. It's like she made a roadmap for self-discovery, but specifically tailored for those who practice age regression.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's great that it's not just about journaling in general, but really focus on how this can help the ager community.
Yeah, exactly. And just in case anyone's not familiar with it,
Yeah.
age regression or ager is a coping mechanism where people mentally return to a younger age
Yeah.
to, find comfort and relaxation. It's all about de-stressing and reconnecting with that childlike wonder. So the first category that jumped out at me was Agere journal prompts for personal growth.
That's interesting. Age regression is often seen as just a way to de-stress, but to use it for something like personal growth, yeah, that's a cool idea.
Right? It might seem kind of backwards at first, but think about it. When we were kids, we were always learning and growing. These prompts sort of tap into that childlike mindset to help us rediscover those strengths we already have.
Yeah.
Like there's one prompt that asks, if you could meet your inner child, what advice would you give them?
Whoa. That's a powerful one. To connect with that younger you and give them advice. Based on everything you've gone through, I mean, that could help you process past challenges,
Hmm.
and maybe see some patterns that might be holding you back.
For sure. And there's another one that asks, what is something you've always wanted to learn but haven't yet? That one to me feels like it's encouraging that playful exploration. The kind we often lose as adults.
Yeah, totally. If we can go at these prompts with a childlike curiosity, we might actually uncover passions and talents we've suppressed, or even just plain forgotten about. It's all about reconnecting with that natural desire to learn and explore.
So I have to ask, what do you think about reflecting on challenges?
Yeah.
But from that Agile perspective, could that actually lead to personal growth?
I think there's something really special about revisiting challenges through your inner child's eyes. It can disarm some of those defenses we build as adults, and then we can explore those experiences, more honestly and vulnerably.
It's like giving ourselves permission to feel those emotions again, but from a safe and understanding place.
Exactly. It's not about getting stuck in the past, but using those experiences to actually grow from them. But we also have to acknowledge, personal growth can be really tough. It takes a lot of introspection and a willingness to face some uncomfortable truths.
That's so true. And I imagine it could even be more challenging when you're trying to do it from an age perspective.
Yeah.
Like, what if it brings up past traumas or difficult memories?
Oh, absolutely. It's so important to approach this kind of journaling with a lot of self-compassion and to get professional help if you need it. These prompts are a tool for exploration, not a substitute for therapy.
Yeah, that's just a super important point for all our listeners out there.
Okay, so moving on from personal growth, let's take a look at the next category. Agere journal prompts for emotional exploration.
Ooh, that one seems especially relevant for elementary practitioners. Emotional regulation is often a big reason why people engage in age regression in the first place.
Exactly. It's about making a safe space to explore and process emotions. Emotions that might feel too overwhelming in adult life.
And the prompts in this category really get into those feelings. Like one that really struck me was, think of a time you felt truly cared for. Describe that moment in detail, including the sights, sounds, and smells.
That's a beautiful one. It's like inviting the person to go back to a positive experience and really soak in all their sensations. It can be so powerful for creating feelings of safety and security.
And that sense of safety is crucial for emotional exploration, especially when you're dealing with tough emotions.
For sure. It's all about creating this container where you can express and process those emotions without judgment or fear.
Another prompt that stood out to me was, describe a time you felt misunderstood. What happened? How did you feel?
I feel like that could be really helpful for those who, struggle to communicate their needs as adults.
Totally. It's giving a voice to those feelings that might have been dismissed or invalidated in the past. By writing about those experiences from their little space, they can begin to understand and express their needs more clearly.
It's like giving themselves permission to be vulnerable and express those emotions that might feel too childish or insignificant in the adult world.
And that's a huge step toward healing and growth emotionally.
So these emotional exploration prompts, they seem to go beyond just identifying feelings. They encourage us to really understand those emotions and how they affect us.
Absolutely. It's all about building emotional intelligence and developing better ways to cope with those emotions. It's really amazing how age journaling can do that. It just creates this safe space, where you can connect with your emotions without judgment. Yeah, it's like it helps bridge that gap
Mm-hmm.
between our inner child and our adult selves,
Yeah.
helping us understand and bring those two parts together.
Right. And now let's dive into the next category. The Agere Journal Prompts for Self-Discovery. This is where things get really interesting.
Oh, okay. I'm all ears. What caught your attention in this one?
Well, these prompts are all about helping people uncover their true selves, their core values and what really brings them joy, like tapping into those childhood dreams and aspirations, the things we often lose sight of as adults.
Yeah, it's easy to forget about that stuff
Yeah.
when you're bogged down with responsibilities and expectations.
Exactly. And one prompt that really stands out to me is describe your ideal day from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep.
Oh, that's a good one. It makes you really think about what a perfect day would look like. A day full of joy and fulfillment.
Right. It's about connecting with those deep desires, the things that truly light us up. And then the magic happens when we ask ourselves, how can I bring more of this into my everyday life?
It's like turning those dreams into reality, taking action to make it happen.
Exactly. And another prompt I really like is, what are some things that make you feel small and powerless? What are some things that make you feel big and powerful?
Ooh, that one seems to get at the heart of self-worth and confidence. Something that a lot of people who practice age regression, they might struggle with.
Yeah, it's about recognizing those triggers, the things that make us feel vulnerable, and then recognizing the things that empower us. By understanding those dynamics, people can start to build a stronger sense of self.
It's like reclaiming that inner strength, that resilience we often associate with childhood.
Exactly. And as we explore ourselves more deeply, we naturally start thinking about goals and plans. So let's move on to the Agere Journal prompts for goal setting and planning.
Ooh, okay, so this is where we start to connect our inner child's wishes with our adult ability to actually achieve them.
Exactly. These prompts encourage people to set goals that align with their true selves, the selves they've discovered through this process, but in a way that feels manageable and achievable.
Okay, I like that. So what kind of prompts are we talking about here?
Well, one that I really like is, if you could wave a magic wand and achieve one goal, what would it be?
Ooh, that's fun. It lets you dream big without any limitations.
Right. It's about giving ourselves permission to imagine those big dreams without holding back.
And once we have that big dream in mind, we can start breaking it down into smaller steps.
Exactly. And that's where prompts like, what is one small step you can take today to move closer to your goal, come in. It helps shift our mindset from feeling overwhelmed to feeling empowered. Like, okay, I can do this one small thing today.
It's all about progress, no matter how small, and celebrating those little wins.
Exactly. And that leads us to our final category, Agere Journal prompts for daily reflection.
Ooh, okay, this sounds like a great way to incorporate these practices into our daily routines.
Absolutely. It's about making self-care and reflection a habit. And one prompt that I really love is, what is one thing you're grateful for today?
Oh yeah, gratitude is so powerful. But it's easy to forget about it in our busy lives.
Right. And by taking a moment each day to think about what we're grateful for, we shift our focus from what we're missing to what we have. It's a small but really important practice that can make a big difference in our overall well-being.
For sure. And what other prompts are in this category?
Or another one that I like is, what is one thing you learned today?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It encourages us to see each day as an opportunity to learn and grow even from the little things.
Yeah, it's like embracing that childlike curiosity
Yeah,
that we were talking about earlier.
exactly. And, earlier we talked about the potential challenges of a journaling, especially when it comes to uncovering difficult memories or emotions.
Right, it's important to remember that this kind of journaling can be triggering for some people.
Absolutely. It's crucial to approach this with self-awareness and to have a good support system in place if you're struggling with difficult emotions. Don't hesitate to reach out to a therapist or counselor.
Yeah, safety and well-being should always come first. These prompts are meant to help us explore and heal, not to add more stress to our lives.
Exactly. And like with any kind of self-exploration,
Yeah.
you have to listen to your body and your intuition. If a prompt feels uncomfortable or triggering, it's totally fine to skip it or change it to fit your needs.
It's all about creating a safe and supportive space for yourself. Going at your own pace. It's your journey, You got to make it work for you.
Exactly. And remember, self-discovery isn't a one-time thing. It's a lifelong process. There's always more to learn about ourselves. These prompts are just a starting point, a way to spark that exploration.
So as we wrap up our deep dive
Mm.
into these 50 Agere Journal prompts, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from this?
I think the most important thing is to approach this with curiosity and playfulness and a whole lot of self-compassion. Let yourself connect with that inner child. Explore those emotions and desires, the ones you might have pushed aside. And remember, it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah, it's all about embracing the journey
Yeah.
with all its ups and downs and trusting that it'll lead you to a deeper understanding of yourself.
Exactly. And as you go through these prompts, you might be surprised by what you find. You might uncover hidden talents or reconnect with passions you'd forgotten about, or maybe you'll just find a new way to cope with the stress of being an adult.
It's like rediscovering that childhood magic and bringing that sense of wonder into your adult life.
Now, before we go, I want to leave our listeners with a little challenge. After you've spent some time with these prompts, pick one that really speaks to you and take it a step further. Don't just write about it. Try to actually bring it to life in some small way.
Ooh, I like that. Turning those insights into action.
Exactly. Maybe try a new hobby. Or be more open about your feelings. Or even just set aside some time for play. Take that step and see where it leads you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into Agere journal prompts. We hope you found it insightful and inspiring.
And remember, the journey of self-discovery never really ends. Embrace it. Be kind to yourself. And keep exploring that amazing world inside you.